Hello, everybody. It's a beautiful, what is it? It feels like Monday today. Does anyone else feel that way? Please, if you do feel like that, if you are in the top 15 percentile of people that feel that today feels like Monday, please tell me in the comments below, because you're not alone. You're not alone. I really do. I feel like it's a Monday today. I'm over here at the office, as some of you may know, at Simonson Building. I'm a little, hey Bo, I see you. I'm in my little office thing over here at 8585 Simon Mwewa Lane at Simonson Building. And as is my custom, anytime I feel that I have a political opinion on anything, Chazia, thank you, I simply turn on my lights, turn on the phone camera, boom, we're in business. Now, I have to tell you, I'm very pleased to announce to you that we do have power here at Simonson Building, and we have had a consistent flow of power. It's turned on at about 10:30, and then boom, it's turned off at about 5 o'clock. It's not the perfect arrangement, but it's better than nothing. Let's be thankful for what we have. If you have any type of consistent power for any length of time, exceeding 4 or 5 hours, I think you're in a good place. Although, I must tell you, we do have to find alternative sources of energy. And I keep telling you that Simonson Building has to do the responsible thing in order to ameliorate the burden on our business owners. Simonson tenants don't like to be referred to as Simonson tenants. They hate that word, tenant. They hate it. They prefer business owners. So we refer to them as such. Simonson business owners have, for quite some time now, sort of nudged us here at management, and they've said, look, mwewa Simonson, could you get your act together? Get a generator or solar panels. Do something, Simonson, you know. So we're working on that. Okay, it's coming. We're sizzling. Okay, we're sizzling. It's coming. All right, Gilbert Michello says you're loud and clear. I'm very pleased. Please tell me in the comments below if this broadcast is clear, if it's smooth. I love to hear that it's smooth. And also, guys, if you don't mind, if you could do me the honor, please share this broadcast with people that you know, people that you think would be interested in this type of conversation. Go ahead and tag them, you know, bring them in. Jesus said, compel them to come in, is what he said. Guys, a couple of things I want to talk to you about. Oh, by the way, incidentally, before we go there, can we for a moment talk about the Icon show last night? Water Studios, Kazadi Films pulled off an amazing feat. Okay, not foot, feat. They pulled off an amazing feat. They actually broadcast a fully fledged live entertainment show from different angles simultaneously, and it went off quite well. Not because of me. What I'm trying to say is the organizers of this iconic show really did it justice. It was entertaining, not only entertaining from most of the people that I read your comments, but we had so much fun. It was hard work, but it was a lot of fun. And I must tell you, I mean, as much as we enjoyed it, it was a lot of hard work. And I tell you, the grueling process that those contestants went through was both emotionally and physically daunting, but they weathered it. And I think that they were baptized in fire, especially the top 6. These kids were baptized in fire. And I think they're going to come out really, really refined on the other side. Every last one of those guys, I think, have got a very good career in the entertainment industry. Tell me what you think in the comments below. All right, let's get into it. First thing I want to talk to you about, of course, is Miles. Okay, as many of you know, you remember in December of 2023, Miles Sampa, along with his SG, woke up one morning and they had this harebrained idea. Okay, and when I first heard about this, I said to myself, I said, well, whose idea was this? You know, whose idea was it to expel en masse, okay? En masse. Are you familiar with that phrase, en masse? Somebody please type it in the comments. Somebody please type en masse in the comments so that everybody's on the same page. Miles Sampa, along with his wayward SG, woke up one morning and en masse, they expelled 9, you count them, 9 giants in the NPF, and they got rid of them. The deputy speaker vacated those seats. The NPF challenged that decision, and then ultimately, a few days ago, the courts declared that no, those seats are not vacant, that they are intact, and that they're not going to go anywhere. Now, let me tell you what that does to that political party. And as you know, and please forgive my repetitiveness, I know I sound redundant, but it bears repeating, and it's this. That political party, now known as the NPF, there's a faction led by Miles Sampa. It's called the New Patriotic Front. Legally, on paper, as far as documentation is concerned, that is the legally recognized leadership of that debacle of a party. Secondly, you've got Edgar Lungu, who also leads the NPF, which is the notorious Patriotic Front. And then lastly, you've got Chavinga, who leads the novice Patriotic Front. Here it is, you've got this party that has a president that en masse dismisses 9 of its MPs. Now, when the courts declared that those seats are still intact, because what we were potentially looking at was 9 by-elections for 9 vacant seats, which is a colossal amount of money in terms of campaigning and mobilizing resources to get the person that you think should stand in that stead or in that seat. It's a huge process. It is such a complex process, a process that Miles neither has the dexterity or the political stamina to pull off. And yet he just literally shot from the hip, and he decided, along with his wayward SG, let's get rid of these 9 guys without even counting the cost. Let's stop there for a moment and think about that. Jesus said, what man builds a house before counting the cost? When you shoot from the hip, when you make haphazard decisions, when you make decisions without counsel, without guidance, without consulting experts in the circumference of political doings, when you haven't consulted widely, you make foolish, arbitrary, ridiculous decisions like getting rid of 9 MPs en masse in one fell swoop. So here it is. Then, when the court system declared that no, those seats are not vacant, what does Miles do? Here come running Miles, boy. He starts going back to the NPF. He stood with Rafael Nakachinda on the same turf, the same piece of land, the same circumference, and Miles looked like a little puppy with his tail stuck between his legs. Did you notice that? There it is, Miles. He's standing out there looking like Jim Jones, boy. He's got them sunglasses on, and the reason he wore those glasses was because he didn't want you to look into the window of his soul. He was too embarrassed to show you the expression in his eyes. That's the reason he stood next to Nakachinda wearing sunglasses. He's out there looking like Tom Cruise. And Nakachinda saying, these are internal issues. And then he turns to Miles and he taps Miles as if he's tapping a little boy who has lost his way and who was ill-advised, who did the wrong thing, had his hand in the cookie jar, and he was standing before a disciplinary committee and he was being straightened out. That was the body language that was existing between that Rafael Hijaka Nakachinda along with Tom Cruise, Miles Sampa, standing out there with his sunglasses. Most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my whole life. And here it is, Nakachinda. Oh no, these our party matters. They are internal matters, and we are going to deal with them internally because we are a family. Ubu fifye weka. Ubu fipantu bali ama guys bali abena Nakachinda bonse fe bali tabamufuwa ya Miles bali mupata bo. Everything Nakachinda said, he just said for cameras. He just said for just said it for the cameras. But the truth is, behind closed doors, they are telling Miles off. Behind closed doors, they are threatening Miles. You think those 9 MPs are looking at Miles with a broad smile and putting their arms around Miles saying, oh, we're going to sing Kumbaya. Hey, listen, we're going to get through this. Miles, we love you, you love us. We're one big, gigantic, violent family. We're going to be fine. No, man. Behind closed doors, when the cameras are off, those guys are threatening Miles. Listen, those 9 NPs, I'm going to make a very controversial statement, but I'm telling you the truth. Had the court system not reinstated those 9 MPs, Miles's life would have been in danger. It was not child's play. I'm telling you now, it was not. That move by Miles was not child's play. He was going to pay the ultimate price. And this is the reason he went back running to them like Old Yeller. If you don't know who that is, you won't understand what I'm talking about. So it was very shameful to see that. And it just tells you that when you vie for the position of presidency of a political party, you cannot display that type of weakness. You cannot display that type of spineless body language where you are being tapped on the shoulders as if you are a wayward child who has had his hand caught in the cookie jar and you're about to be disciplined. That is not leadership. That's Tom and Jerry politics, and it has no place in real Zambian politics. What we need in terms of opposition leadership is serious chaps, serious contenders, not jokers. We have no time for jokers. All right, that's all I want to say about Miles. My voice is hoarse. I was recently in Mazabuga, as some of you know. And while in Mazabuga, you notice how I said that? Mazabuga. Is that the Tonga accent? Is that the way the Tonga say it? Mazabuga. In Mazabuga. Mwabugabuti kabotu. Tulibotu. In Mazabuga. We were having lunch, and I'm going to post the video here as soon as we're done. We were having lunch. Oh man, I tell you, they prepared this lunch for the people that attended this function. Amazing. Well, I ran into the mayor of Livingston. It's this lovely young lady. Her name is Constance Muleabai. Is that correct? How do you say that? How do you spell her name? The mayor of Livingston Miss Constance Mwewa. Is that how you say it? Mwewa, yes. Well, her and I were having lunch, and we were talking about the challenges of running councils. And one of the things she said to me that I found so interesting, and she was very right about it. We were talking about street vending. I asked her, I said, how have you in Livingston, your worship, you know, a mayor is typically referred to as your worship. I said to her, I said, your worship, how have you managed there in the tourist capital of this great territory that we call Zambia? How have you managed to maintain a viable, clean, functional CBD void, empty of street vendors? She said one thing. She said, you all have to speak the same language. The problem with councils is that the key players are not speaking the same language. That is why you can find a situation where mayor alelanda fimbi, councillor alelanda fimbi, ward chairman alelanda fimbi. I'll never forget, and I've told you this story. During the PF, this was back when Guy Scott was the vice president of Zambia, and Michael Sata was the president of this republic. I had gone, because many of you know, Nkanduluo is a relative of mine. She's a family member. And I had gone, she was the minister of local government at the time. I'd gone there to see her about something. So her and I were sitting in the office. She was about to execute an action that would have seen the removal of, you know, Findiko House, you know, over the flyover, the flyover bridge. I don't know why we call it flyover. We don't even fly. Can't nobody fly over it. We drive over it. Well, by that flyover, there's a piece of land there. You know where they have all those shacks? Tell me if you know what that place is. There's Findiko House, and then there's a piece of land there, right by the flyover. That piece of land there. Tell me if you remember, if you know what I'm talking about. And then I'll continue with the story. Tell me. I'm about to break something down for you. I'll wait. That piece of land there, a bunch of PF cadres started grabbing that land, and they started, somebody says, that is true, mwewa, those against and those supporting. That piece of land, now remember this was many years ago, cadres, PF cadres had grabbed that land and they were portioning it. Some were selling it, some were building makeshift stands, no approval from council. Well, Nkanduluo decided that you cannot have that nonsense happening like that. So she decided that she was going to bulldoze and just remove those stands so that that piece of land is legitimately run. The day before that operation was to be launched, that demolition exercise, Vice President Guy Scott phoned Nkanduluo whilst I was sitting there in her office. She answered the phone. She said, Bwana Vice President. And she started going, Mkwai. Yes, sir. Oh, okay. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Click. Nabe pusha. Ngabo nibanyabo ati nibalani Vice President. That's Guy Scott. He's just told me to halt the demolition exercise because some cadres are beneficiaries of that piece of land. So the problem when it comes to local government, Lusaka City Council, anything to do with council land or council issues, if you want something done, everybody has to speak the same language. One of the reasons in Lusaka why it's very difficult to keep the city clean and to get rid of street vendors so that they operate in designated areas, and the only designated area Bane is a market. It's not at a bus stop. A bus stop is not a market. The other day in Kabulonga, I saw this woman selling clothes and putting mannequins at a bus stop. I confronted her, and I know some of you were displeased with me and you were saying, mwewa, maybe it was your approach. That's the problem with you. The problem with you is that you're constantly trying to create excuses for wrongdoing. You're diverting attention from the real issue, and you start talking about, no, it was your approach. Maybe you shouldn't have recorded her. Well, how else are you going to know about it but for me recording her? Because you love to deflect attention from the main issue. Instead of discussing the issue, you're scapegoating. You're talking about something else. I confronted this woman and I said to her, it's on record, I posted the video. I said, Imwe, inoni bus stop. How can you put mannequins? If my dodi baka dodi, nefya mwafi fuika. Pa bus stop. You fuika them. Pa bus stop. A bus stop is public property. You cannot have your mannequins at a. What if people want to use the shelter to sit in, but they can't sit in there because you've erected your own shop using a public bus stop? Oh my goodness, this woman just wouldn't have it. No, and then she started talking about Simoson, because they all do that. No matter what I say, the conversation will always go back to Simoson. No, you are Ikwata Simoson. Well, Simoson's got nothing to do with what we're talking about. If you've got cancer, why are you talking about a toothache? If you've got multiple sclerosis, why are you talking about your broken toe? Talk about the issue at hand. No, you are Rikwata Simoson. Simoson has nothing to do with the conversation here. What we're discussing is that you cannot use a public bus stop as a private shop. Go to the market. Go to the market. My goodness, our people. So the mayor of Livingston was telling me that one of the reasons why in Lusaka you've got this challenge is because everyone from the top, the middle, and the very bottom, you're not speaking the same language. You have to say the same thing. There cannot be a directive coming from Minister of Local Government, and then down here, the councillor is telling the people opposite of what the minister has said. Confusion. Get with the program. If you want things done, speak the same language. Be firm, be consistent, you will see change. All right. That's all I had to say. Thanks for watching. Bye.